Hey guys, glad y'all are back today. We have finally got the garden area cleared off and we have got a compost bin full of the material that we took off there. So now it's time to start planting the garden. Finally. All right, so come join us while we plant. The first thing we're going to do is to be planting green beans. And we're going to plant those about 8 inches apart. We're going to have a row that's going to have 3 rows across of green beans. And what I'm going to use is my very sophisticated wand here. I got a cup attached to this with duct tape, 1/2-inch pipe. Probably needed to be 3/4. But I'm going to put where I can stand up and walk along, put the beans in there. Now, my next piece of equipment is this dowel rod. And that's what I'm going to use to make the hole in there first, and then go back and plant the beans. And I'm going to plant 2 beans per hole because, well, beans like company and they sprout better that way. That's what I've always been told, so that's what we're going with. It seems to work, so why mess with it? So here we go. All right, so what we're going to do, just poke us a hole and as close to the center as we can, about 1/2 inch deep. And then we'll come back and put a bean in each one of those holes. Center the hole in the fabric, poke us a hole in there. Go to the next one. And we're just going to do that all the way down, and then we'll come back and put beans. Now I'm wanting to put up somewhere around 100 quarts of green beans. I don't have to do it all at once though. So I'm going to plant several green beans, and we'll count on them here in a second how many we've got planted. Now these green beans are going to be about 1 foot apart widthwise and about 8 inches the other way. And we'll can some green beans. I'm going to freeze some green beans. I'm probably going to freeze dry some green beans. All right, finished poking the holes. Now these are contender green beans. They're a bush bean, like I said. I'm gonna fill this cup up with those beans, and we're gonna go to planting. Drop those beans though. Give it just a second to hit the bottom because these beans take a little bit to rattle around in there and get to the bottom. Now right now I'm just dropping them in. I'm not covering them up yet. I'm going to go back and make sure they're all placed good. I'll probably fill them by hand. Now what I'm going to do is making sure the beans down there in the hole. And I'll take the little dibbler, put it right beside it, push it over. Well, we have got 126 hills of green beans planted. That's the contender. Now we're going to plant some horticulture beans. It does not have the yield of like a green bean or a lot of other beans, but it's a very tasty bean. We try to grow that every year, but we just don't get a lot out of each plant like a lot of the other beans. But we're going to plant some. We're also going to plant some sweet corn, and that will be Iowa Chief. That's what my dad always planted, and it always made great cut-off corn for cream style corn or corn on the cob. Either was great stuff. And then we're going to plant some pink eye purple hull peas, and we'll see what else we can get into. The horticulture beans, they're about the same as the green beans. You plant them a little deeper, about 1 inch deep. And like I said before, the yield on these are not fantastic, so we're going to plant several. We have got the horticultures planted. So now we're going to be planting corn, and we're going to be mixing it with purple hull peas. We're going to plant 2 rows of purple hull peas, one on either side of the corn, and that purple hull pea will provide nitrogen for the corn. Corn is a grass, basically, and requires a lot of nitrogen to grow. So that's what we're going to do next. that is it. We've got the corn and the horticultures and the corn and the purple hull peas planted. Got a few more minutes of light, so we're going to plant some peppers. So okay, let's do that. Get some peppers planted. 2 or 3 different kind of peppers, but the bells are what's going to be first. Going to loosen the dirt up in there a little bit and take a little dirt out so we can put this back in there. All right, just gently mash on that one. Pops right out. You planted a little deeper than what that is in the pot, but you don't want to go too much, I don't think, on peppers. All right. See how many we can get done before it gets too dark to do anything. The hole it goes. Now I've already raised this fabric up and put some fertilizer underneath here. We're going to keep an eye on it because we want these things to jump and get going. That dirt up around, try to get all that back in here. We don't want to waste it anywhere. If you leave this dirt on this fabric, if it gets just a 1/16 of an inch deep, grasses start to grow in it. This soil is very moist after that 2 inches of rain we had. So I don't think I've got to water it just right now. It's getting a little late. I don't want to water it dark because I don't want to get any kind of fungus started on these things. Now I've got several of these bell peppers. Got a couple that's not looking as good. This one's got a crook in it. I don't like that. And this one has got some wilted leaves, and I'm not sure why, so we're not planting those two. Alright, let's see. I don't think we can pull them apart. We're just going to take the best looking one. Hurts my feelings to do that, but you can only have one pepper in here, so those aren't going to come out of there. I like to plant these plants in the evening. I could have started a little sooner, yeah. But I like to plant them in the evening. I don't like to necessarily work this late, but I don't want to plant them too early in the afternoon, and I don't want to plant them in the mornings because they're going to have to go through that midday sun pretty quick, and I want these things to get a little established before they have to start taking that on. Now these have been hardened off. These things have been, plants have been outside for the past probably 2 weeks. Because the temperatures have not got down low enough where it's going to hurt them. Plant them on a cloudy day too. If it's going to stay cloudy or partly cloudy, you can plant them a little earlier in the day. But planting, if I was to plant these things at say 9 o'clock in the morning, in 3 hours they're hitting that midday sun, and it's going to put some stress on them. And I don't want to put any more stress on them than I have to when I'm transplanting them. And remember, count your blessings every day, and I believe you will find you are blessed well beyond measure. I know that I am. Bye.